ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद। जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। Okay, chapter 4, verse 102. Now, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is going to discuss the sixth verse. अवतारी प्रभु प्रचारिल संकीर्तन यहो बाह्य हेतु पूर्वे करिया सूचन. Lord came to propagate Sankirtan. That is an external purpose, as I've already indicated. Avatarera araika ache mukhya bija rasika shekara krishnera sei karya nija. And there is a principal cause for Lord Krishna's appearance. It grows from his own engagements as the foremost enjoyer of loving exchanges. Rasika Shekara. Krishna is Rasika Shekara. Rasa Shekara, enjoyer, foremost enjoyer of rasa or mellows of love. Krishna is the foremost enjoyer of mellows of love. So this second region, the principal cause grows from his own engagements as Rasika Shekara. The kind of pastimes he does as Rasika Shekara. Because of that, this principal cause, uh, this is the principal cause, right? Because of his engagements as Rasika Shekara. अति गूढ़ हेतु से त्रिविध प्रकार दामोदर स्वरूप हैते याहार प्रचार. That most confidential cause is threefold. Swarupa Damodara has revealed it. Swarupa Gosai Prabhura ati ar antaranga tahate janena Prabhura e sab prasanga. Swarupa Goswami is the most intimate associate of the Lord. He therefore knows all these topics well. Gauraganodishya Deepika describes Swarup Damodar as the same Vishaka Devi who serves the Lord in Goloka Vrindavana. So he is very, very intimate. Therefore, it is understood that Sri Swarup Damodar is a direct expansion of Radharani who helps the Lord experience the attitude of Radharani. So this is Vishaka Devi. Radhikara Bhavamurti Prabhura Antara Sei Bhave Sukha Dukha Ute Nirantara. The heart of Lord Chaitanya is the image of Sri Radhika's emotions. Thus, feelings of pleasure and pain arise constantly therein. So, Prabhupada is writing here saying, one who engages in sense gratification on the material platform can hardly understand Radha Bhava, but one who is freed from the demands of sense gratification can understand it. Radha Bhava must be understood from the Goswamis, those who are actually controller of the senses. From such authorized sources, it is to be known that the attitude of Srimati Radharani is the highest perfection of conjugal love, which is the highest of the five transcendental mellows, and is the complete perfection of love of Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying that don't look at it from a material perspective. If somebody is steeped in material sense gratification, then his whole perspective vision of the world is based on this vision of based on this bodily conception of aham and mama. Mm. So when naturally we hear anything to do with loving affairs, we tend to consider it to be happening between ordinary jivas on the material platform. That is because we are completely absorbed in sense gratification in material on the material platform. So we cannot understand Radha Bhava if we are engaged in sense gratification. But one who is freed from the demands of sense gratification can understand. So we have to understand Radha Bhava from our acharyas, from Goswamis who are controller of senses. One who is not a controller of, of senses cannot understand Radha Bhava. And Prabhupada is explaining what then do these acharyas say. They say that the attitude of Srimati Radharani is the highest perfection of conjugal love. Okay, now this conjugal love means, yeah, it might be material conjugal love also. So he is expanding, saying that now this is not material, this is highest of the five transcendental rasas. This is not material conjugal, this is transcendental conjugal. And what is this transcendental conjugal love? It is the complete perfection of love of Krishna. Transcendental affairs can be understood on two platforms. One is called elevated, and the other is called super elevated. The Swakiya is elevated platform. The exhibited, the wing affairs exhibited in Dwarka. Swakiya are the elevated platform. Super elevated is this Parakiya. The attitude of Lord Chaitanya is certainly super elevated. From the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an intelligent person engaged in pure devotional service, can understand that he always felt separation from Krishna within himself. In that separation, he sometimes felt that he had found Krishna and was enjoying the meeting. Significance of the separation and meeting is very specific. If someone tries to understand the exalted position of Lord Chaitanya without knowing this, he's sure to misunderstand it. Hmm. One must first become fully self-realized. What does self-realized mean? That I am not this body, I am Atma, I am servant of Krishna. And then also realizing Krishna's position, Radharani's position. This is part of being self-realized. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's position. Otherwise, one may misidentify the Lord as Nagara. That is why there's one name which we don't use, Gauranga Nagara. He is saying that he's the enjoyer of the damsels of Raja. No, he's not. This is Rasabhas. Rasabhas means overlapping rasas. This is a mistake. Hmm. That is why Swarup Damodar always used to hear anybody wants to present anything, poetry, prose, philosophy, anything in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first he used to hear. And immediately used to catch Rasabhas or Mayavad and knock it off. Then it won't go till Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we also have to understand this Rasabhas. You should not mix up rasas. So we don't consider that Lord Chaitanya is Nagara. He is not the enjoyer of the damsels of Raja. Krishna is the enjoyer. Mm. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming as a devotee. Devotee doesn't become enjoyer of the damsels of Raja. Mm. So this the why here pains and pleasure of Sri Radhika is pleasure is when she is able to meet Krishna and pain when there is separation. Mm. This is constant. This is all the time happening. All the time. There is either feeling of pleasure or pain. Pleasure, pain, pleasure, pain. That we can see when we read the Antya Leela. How Lord Chaitanya is always, you know, for he hears some words and he is solaced, then again he is in deep pain. Mm. So this is the image because this is the heart of Lord Chaitanya, is the image of Sri Radhika's emotions. So actually, by reading this Antya Leela, we can get a glimpse into. the mood of Srimati Radharani and her love. And it's so exalted, it almost sounds insane to us. It sounds insane when you look at it from a mundane perspective, saying that how can something like this happen? And the expression of that pleasure and pain is even more bewildering to some ordinary jivas, right? Where there's Ashtasatvika Vikar and so many things which are inconceivable. Mm. But a devotee will experience all this as he reaches mm, bhava and prema stages. Some of these symptoms are manifested. So, this gives us an insight into the feelings of Srimati Radharani. Read specifically Antya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. शेषलीलाय प्रभुर कृष्ण विरह उन्माद भ्रममय चेष्टा आर प्रलापमय वाद. In the final portion of his pastimes, that is Shesha Leela, that is Antya Leela, Lord Chaitanya was obsessed with the madness of separation from Lord Krishna. He acted in erroneous ways and talked deliriously. Brahmamaya, Brahma Pramada, Vipralipsa, Karanapatava, like the defects of human beings. Hmm. So Lord Chaitanya was demonstrating Brahmamaya Chesta. It is all erroneous. Unmada, Krishna Viraha Unmada, madness. Hmm. And Pralapamaya. Pralapa, we say we should not do Pralapa, Prajalpa. It's all like here it's delirious talk, crazy talk. Hmm. We can't understand at all. First time when I read this, I thought like, what, where, where have I gotten myself into? I can't really understand what's going on here. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited the highest stage of feelings of a devotee in separation from the Lord. Materialists cannot understand this. Some material scholars think that he was diseased, that's crazy. Uh, that is their problem because they're always engaged in material sense gratification, cannot understand the feelings of devotees of the Lord. Materialists are most abominable in their ideas. They think that they can enjoy directly perceivable gross objects by their senses, and they can similarly deal with the transcendental features of Lord Chaitanya. But the Lord is understood only in pursuance of the principles laid down by the Goswamis, headed by Swarup Damodar. Doctrines like those of Nadiya Nagaris, a class of so-called devotees, are never presented by authorized persons like Swarupa Damodar. Ideas of Gauranga Nagaris are simply a mental concoction, and they are completely on the mental platform. It's very difficult to understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unless we come through our authorities, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is presenting it based on the authority of Swarup Damodar, specifically the Antya Leela. Madhya and Antya Leela is coming from Swarup Damodar's notes mainly. Because he completely understood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood of madness of separation, acting in erroneous ways and talking deliriously. So the presentation of Chaitanya Charitamrita is perfect. Radhikara bhava yeche Uddhava darshane te bhave matta prabhu rahe ratri dine. So what is this mood that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually, what is his behavior? Um, that behavior is same as just as Radhika went mad at the sight of Uddhava. So that part of Bhagavatam 10th canto is very, very, it's amazing. Again, each and every sentence is uh, analyzed and commented upon by our acharyas because it actually the deep insights into the mood and love of Srimati Radharani. And so Srimati Radharani went mad at the sight of Uddhava, and then she started talking to B. Brahmaragit. Mm. So Lord Chaitanya was obsessed day and night with the madness of separation, like what Radhika showed when she met Uddhava. On seeing Uddhava, whatever bhava she felt, bhave matta. maddened in that state. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remains day and night. रात्रे प्रलाप करे स्वरूपेर कंठ धरी आवेशे आपन भाव कहे उघाड़ी. At night he talked incoherently, not able to understand, in grief, with his arms around Swarup Damodar's neck, meaning in real distress. We hold on to somebody's neck when we are not like holding on to the neck, like throttling his neck, right? In putting our arms around a person's neck is like when we are in deep distress. Hmm. So he spoke out his heart in ecstatic inspiration, exuberantly, kahe ughadi, exuberantly, ecstatic inspiration. He used to talk incoherently. Most of the devotees won't understand what he's speaking, except Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai. They used to be the constant companions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his Antya Leela, especially Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kaviraj Goswami says, saying that during the day it was okay because his mind was engaged in external activities of Sankirtan, meeting devotees, talking to people, taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, etc., etc. But night was when the separation would hit. And Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai used to be with Lord Chaitanya till late in the night, till Mahaprabhu goes to sleep. After Mahaprabhu goes to sleep, then Swarup Damodar and Damodara used to go back to his home. Swarup Damodar also used to retire to his quarters. But again, very soon Govinda would come to Swarup Damodar Goswami and saying, okay, something has happened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not in his room, Gambhira. Or so many incidents happen. Again, Swarup Damodar Goswami comes. Then, one day, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like drowning in the sea. He's just let himself, falls into the sea, and then nobody knows where he's gone. And then all the devotees come and they search for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, like this, all kinds of pastimes and, you know, incoherent talks almost looks like madness. Mm. So this is all whatever used to happen was just his heart in ecstatic inspiration. There's an ecstasy of love. This is again very difficult to understand unless we understand rasa tattva, madhurya rasa tattva, the position of Srimati Radharani, the mood of Srimati Radharani. All that we have to understand. Otherwise, none of this we can simply read through them. That's all. And half of it will be overhead transmission. We can't understand. यबै भाव उठे प्रभुर अंतर से गीति श्लोके सुख देन दामोदर. Whenever a particular sentiment arose in his heart, Swarup Damodar satisfied him by singing songs or reciting verses of the same of the same nature. ये कार्य नाही किछु ये सब विचारे आगे इह विवरिब करिया विस्तारे. To analyze these past times is not necessary now because we are just beginning Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying it's not necessary now. Later I shall describe them in detail, which we will read in Antya Leela when we get there. Purve Vraje Krishnera Trividha Vayodharma Komara Pauganda Ara Kaishorati Marma. Formerly in Raja, Lord Krishna displayed three ages, namely childhood, boyhood, and adolescence. Kaishora. His adolescence is especially significant. Kaishora, Kaishori, because that is their eternal age in Goloka of Radha and Krishna. So childhood, boyhood, mm, uh, Kaumara, Pauganda, and Kaishora. Kaishora is especially significant. Vatsalya Aveshe Kaila, Kaumara Safala, Pauganda Safala Kaila, Laya Sakhavala. Parental affection made his childhood fruitful. His boyhood was successful with his friends. Sakha Avala. Vatsalya Aveshe Kaila Kaumara Safala. With parental affection, he made childhood fruitful. राधिकादि लय कैला रसादि विलास वांछा भरी आस्वादिल रसेर निर्यास. In youth, in youth, he tasted the essence of rasa, fulfilling his desires in pastimes like the rasa dance with Srimati Radhika and the other gopis. So this is the taste. He tasted the essence of rasa. The essence of rasa is Sringara. Mm. Rasera niryasa. Mm. He tasted essence. Niryasa is essence of the rasa, which is Sringara. कैशोर वयसे काम जगत सकल रासादि लीलायति न करिल सफल. In his youth, Lord Krishna made all the three of his ages, which is Kaumara, Pauganda, and Kaishora, and the entire universe successful by his pastimes of amorous love, like the rasa dance. And so, yeah. सोऽपि कैशोरख वयो मानयन् मधुसूदनः रेमे स्त्रीरत्नकूटस्थ क्षपासु क्षपिताहितः. Lord Madhusudana enjoyed his youth with pastimes on autumn nights in the midst of the jewel-like, jewel-like milkmaids. Thus he dispelled all the misfortunes of the world. So beautiful. Krishna's rasa dance. This is rasa dance. Pastimes on autumn nights in the midst of jewel-like milkmaids is rasa dance. It dispelled the misfortune, all the misfortunes of the world. Vishnu Purana. And Bhagavatam also says that, this one who is affected by lust can, by hearing of the Lasa Leela pastimes from a self-realized devotee, from a pure devotee, and the disease of the heart, which is lust, can get destroyed. But of course, there is also qualification for hearing. Unless we have come at least three-fourth of anartha nivriti is over, meaning majority of our anarthas are over, we should not enter into structured hearing of these pastimes. There's something called incidental hearing. Incidental hearing means something like somebody spoke, gave a class, here and there, we might hear. But if you have to do a sequential structured reading, we should actually be very careful. It's advisable that it is done only after majority of our anarthas are gone. Because if we read, that is why Prabhupada said that we should read it after the 9 cantos, because by the time we actually finished reading 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, we would have significantly overcome. Ideally, we should have significantly overcome our anarthas. So we would possibly get the adhikara to enter into the pastimes of Krishna and Rasa Leela and the gopis. In fact, even in the Krishna Leela, actually, this is very amazing insight. Yesterday, I was reading that there's a book called Krishna Samhita, and also I think Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written, I don't know in which book, about how all these killing of various asuras by Krishna, they compare, or they are, yeah, uh, all these asuras are compared to various anarthas we have. And actually, apparently, this was very insightful yesterday. That reading these pastimes of Krishna killing those asuras actually is the solution or the medicine for those anarthas that we might have in our mind. So, such a beautiful arrangement by Krishna. So simply by following Prabhupada's instruction of reading Krishna book, right? So if we simply read those first initial chapters till Krishna's pastimes with the gopis and Radharani is revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam, basically all these anarthas should get destroyed. So what we can simply do is we can simply keep repeating these pastimes of demons getting killed by Krishna multiple times, and automatically our anarthas will go. Such a powerful process actually is just yesterday when I read this, I thought like, oh, this is so brilliant, right? So then we will actually become qualified automatically by reading Krishna book only. We will become qualified to hear Krishna's pastimes with gopis. So that is why these are all nothing in our Krishna consciousness. Nothing is whimsical, right? Everything has a reason. Everything has a reason. Everything that Prabhupada has said and given has a reason. We simply don't understand it, so we trivialize. How many devotees have we heard highlighting this, reading Krishna book? And because Prabhupada says means that there is value. I highlight it because I saw my father really experiencing the result of that instruction. Hmm. Uh, so it's amazing, right? So we will get the qualification to enter into these pastimes by simply reading Krishna book again and again. If somebody thinks that they have too many anarthas, oh, no problem. Simply chant Hare Krishna every day. Try as much as possible to do offenseless chanting without distraction, and just keep reading Krishna book. Right? Just these two things, if you do very quickly, we can come out of all anarthas. Very powerful process. Vacha Suchita Sarvari Ratikala Pragal Vayarādhikam. Okay, long verse. Bhakti Ratamrita Sindhu. Lord Krishna made Srimati Radharani close her eyes in shame before her friends. Okay, we can't digest this sloka, but anyway. Radha Krishna made Srimati Radharani close her eyes in shame before her friends by his words relating their amorous activities on the previous night. Then he showed the highest limit of cleverness in drawing pictures of dolphins in various playful sports on her breasts. In this way, Lord Hari made his youth successful by performing pastimes in the bushes with Sri Radha and her friends. So this is incidental hearing. Okay, now this is way above our purity to be able to understand this. That this is Supreme Lord in his pastimes. Mm, um, but yeah, there is a reason. For example, why should this verse be quoted? Many people might actually lose uh, trust, or they might just go crazy saying that, oh, Krishna is in all these kind of pastimes. This looks so mundane and lustful. So we should be very, very careful. Yeah, we can't understand this, no problem. Just understand that it is the supreme truth. It's given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. And then we just move on. We don't get stuck with things that we can't digest at this point of time, right? When we have problem with indigestion, we don't eat too much of foods that we can't digest. It's okay, but yeah, we can get a taste and then move on. Mm. Oh Purnamasi, if Lord Hari had not descended in Mathura with Srimati Radharani, the entire creation and especially Cupid, the demigod of love, would have been useless. Vidagdha Madhava, spoken by Brinda Devi. So these pastimes of Radha and Krishna are so esoteric, that it's really difficult to digest, right? So we shouldn't enter into, this is highest, like, you know, beyond even Kamadev. So it's very, very difficult to understand. Uh, so we have to be very, very careful. That is why it should be heard. Just especially the very esoteric pastimes of Radha and Krishna, only from mouth of a pure devotee, right? And like I said, the adhikara to enter into these topics is, majority of the anathas should have gone. Then we can understand, we can read, and then slowly our heart will become more purified, and then we will be able to understand what is happening. Otherwise, we will get really bewildered. Which is why, mm, people who are morally, who think that bhakti means being moral, mm, who are on the mundane moral platform, and can't understand mm, what can we say, mm, these pastimes really, because when we look at, when we hear them, naturally our mind will work on the mundane platform of right and wrong, and it just thinks that, oh no, this is all. And first of all, Radharani is not Krishna's wife. And why all these pastimes? So this is all unethical, immoral. So then we can just, I mean, people can't accept Krishna. People can't accept Krishna when they are on the platform of moral, material morality, because they can't understand. They just can't understand. So Krishna has made himself very, very difficult to understand by choice. It's easy to come to Rama, easy to come to Narasimha, it's easy to come to other avatars of Krishna. Narayana, especially, very easy. Because all, yeah, so-called moral, as in for material people, they'll hear all these pastimes and say, yeah, 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 this is absolutely pakka. But when it comes to Krishna, oh, it just, oh, from his childhood only, all this craziness starts. Now, why should God go and steal stuff from other people's house? It's immoral to steal, not right. So Krishna, from day one, makes it very difficult for non-believers, for faithless people, for impure hearts to accept him. So very, very difficult, very, very difficult to understand Krishna. That is why fortunate are those devotees who can understand Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. Krishna's Janma and Karma are transcendental. One who can actually understand it will not come back to this material world because it is so difficult. It's not straightforward. Mm. Krishna is bent, Tribhangi. His acts are also seem crooked, uh, bent. We can't understand it so easily. So here, Vrinda Devi is saying, if Krishna had not appeared, descended in Mathura with Srimati Radharani, then the whole creation, especially Cupid, would have been useless. Creation also would have been useless, because what is the use of people being in this material world and going through punishments without getting the option to hear about Krishna, hear about Krishna's intimate pastimes with Srimati Radharani? Whole creation is wasted, because this is the perfection of our life. हेमत पूर्वे कृष्ण रसे रसदान यद्यपि करिल्ला रस निर्यास चर्वण तथापि न हिलति न वांछित पुराण ताहा आस्वादिते यदि करिल यतन. Even though Krishna, abode of all mellows, had previously in this way chewed the essence of the mellows of love, still he was unable to fulfill three desires, although he made efforts to taste them. So he chewed the essence. Charvana, he chewed the essence of the mellows of love. And Krishna appeared with Srimati Radharani. But still he was unable to fulfill three desires. Just imagine Krishna not being able to fulfill his desires. Hmm. And though he made efforts to taste them, it's not that he didn't do any, didn't make any efforts. And the whole world, just running by just Icha Shakti of Krishna. No, this is not just Icha Shakti. He's also made efforts. He's put efforts also. Uh, but he is not able to fulfill three desires of his so exalted these pastimes of. ताहार प्रथम वांच करिए व्याख्यान कृष्ण कहे आमी हाय रसेर nidana. So the first desire is being explained here. Krishna says, Ami hai rasera nidana. I am the primary cause of all rasas. Krishna is expressing his thoughts. I am primary cause of all rasas. I am the full spiritual truth and I am made of full joy. Purna Anandamai, Purna Tattva, Chinmay. So I am Purna Anandamai, Chinmay, and Purna Tattva. Radhikara Premehama Karaya Unmata. But the love of Srimati Radharani drives me mad. Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, one class, he's talking about this and he says, you know, Krishna is mad. You're worshipping a mad God. Mm. And then he sings one beautiful song by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Not very common. Hmm. Uh, Actually, let me see. This one. Kothai go premamai radhe radhe. Hmm. Actually, anyway, I mean, this is a very, he sings very, very nice. So this is Krishna. Where is she who is full of prema? All glories to Sri Radha. So she's full of prema. Where is she? And then now Krishna goes on searching for Radha. Oh, Radha, please give me your darshan and save my life. Your wretched beggar calls out to you, Radhe, Radhe. Oh, Radha, you enjoy pleasure pastime in the forest of Vrindavan, wherein you enchant the mind of Krishna. Oh, Radhe, you are the crest jewel among your eight principal Sakhis. Oh, Radha, daughter of Rishabhanu Baba. Raghunath Das Goswami was calling out, Radhe, Radhe. Sometimes Keshi, sometimes at Keshi Ghat, sometimes at Vamshi Bhat. Uh, uh, it's a very beautiful song he sings in very nice tune. Sometimes in Nidhuvan, sometimes in Seva Kund, sometimes at Radha Kund, sometimes at Sham Kund, sometimes at Kusum Sarovar, sometimes at Giriraj Govardhan. Hmm. Sometimes at Thalavan, sometimes at Tamalvan. Raghunath Das Komi goes Das wears simple cloth which appears to be dirty because he's always rolling on the earth crying out Radhe Radhe. Calling out Radhe Radhe, his eyes are bursting with a flood of tears. He wanders through the lanes of Vrindavan crying out Radhe Radhe. So like he sings this, like this is the mood of Krishna. So when Raghunath Das is singing this, this means that it is the mood of Krishna. So his Krishna is Unmatta. He's gone crazy. Love of Srimati Radharani is driving him mad. So he's going here, there, everywhere, searching Radhe, Radhe, where are you? Where are you? Hmm. না জানি রাধার প্রেমে আছে কত বলা এ বলে আমার করে সর্বদা বিফলা. I don't know the strength of Radha's love. It makes me always vifala, overwhelmed. She always overwhelms me. Just imagine. Krishna is being overwhelmed. What does overwhelmed mean? Like, just can't deal with it. He's just not able to deal with her. She just overwhelms him. This is the strength of Radha's love. I do not know what that strength is, with which she always overwhelms me. Love of Radhika is my teacher, and I am her dancing pupil. Radhikara Prema Guru Ami Shishya Nata. Nata, I am dancing pupil. Sada Ama Nana Nritye Nachaya Udbhata. Her prema makes me dance various novel dances. Nana Nritye. Various types of dances. Udbhata, novel. She is the teacher. She is making me dance. Hmm. We say Brahma Samhita, Brahma is saying, oh, all the sun, moon, everybody, yeah, all planets are working, fear of Krishna. They're all dancing to his tunes, and here Krishna is dancing to Radharani's tunes. So this is from Govinda Lilamrita. Oh, my beloved friend Brinda, where are you coming from? So this is a conversation in Govinda Lilamrita. Govinda Lilamrita is also written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So this is again a very exalted scripture which details the Astakaliya Leela of Radha and Krishna. Oh, my beloved friend Brinda, where are you coming from? So Brinda Devi is answering. I'm coming from the feet of Sri Hari. Where is he? In the forest on the bank of Radhakund. So these pastimes happen at noon in the forest on the bank of Radhakund. What is he doing there? He's learning dancing. Who is his master? Your image, Radha. So Radha is asking Brinda, where are you coming from? And then Brinda Devi is explaining that Krishna is learning dancing on the banks of Radhakund. Who is his master? Your image, Radha, revealing itself. But where are you? You are revealing, your image is revealing itself in every tree and creeper, in every direction. and is roaming like a skillful dancer, making him dance behind. So this is what this song was, right? So Krishna is going everywhere, looking at Radha, and then her. It's like the image of Radha is making him dance. She's roaming like a skillful dancer, and he's dancing behind her. So she's like a teacher, he's like a pupil. Who? Supreme Lord Krishna. निज प्रेमास्वादे मोरा होए ये आह्लाद ताहा होइते कोटि गुण राधा प्रेमास्वाद. Whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Srimati Radharani. So Krishna is, experiencing. So when there's exchange between Radha and Krishna, Krishna is experiencing pleasure in that love. But he's saying she tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. I am having some taste. I am tasting this love for Srimati Radharani. But the love she has for me is 10 million times more. And Krishna is not able to understand this. Hmm. He's Sarvagna, but he's not able to understand what is this mood. What does she actually experience when it is 10 million times more? I am experiencing something and I know what it is. But when it becomes 10 million times more, what is it? How does it actually, what is the experience? I don't know. I can't understand. Just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is always full of similar contradictions. So this Viruddha Dharma, Paraspara Viruddha Dharma, Viruddha Dharma Maya, full of. So Radha's love is full of Viruddha Dharma Maya, full of contradictions, contradictions, which is why, it like really sounds like craziness. We can't understand at all. Radha wants to meet Krishna, and when Krishna is there, she doesn't want to talk to her. When Krishna is there, she's fighting with him. But then when Krishna is not there, she wants to meet him. So it's like full of contradictions. Mm, So Krishna is saying, I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, but her love is always full of similar contradictions. So he's not able to understand. Radha's love is all pervading, leaving no room for expansion. It's all pervading, which means that it's there everywhere. So if it's already there everywhere, then what is the question of expansion? But still it is expanding constantly. Achintya, huh? Leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. There's certainly nothing greater than her love, but her love is devoid of pride. See, this is so critical. But again, it is very difficult. Radharani seems to express pride when she is with Krishna in the Rasa dance. And I mean, when Krishna leaves all the gopis and then comes to talk to Srimati Radharani. Looks like Srimati Radharani shows a bit of pride, but no, her love is devoid of pride. So which means whatever comes across as pride is also a pastime just to give pleasure to Krishna, but she is devoid of pride. That is the sign of its greatness. Mm. So Krishna is possessed by her. Like Krishna just dances as per her tunes. So how powerful is her love? But because her love is devoid of pride, it is the sign of its greatness. Not that I am controlling Krishna. See my love. No, it's not Radharani because it's devoid of pride. That is the sign of its greatness. Nothing is purer than her love, but its behavior is always perverse and crooked. So these things we. I mean, there's so much to be studied. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Then there are various other books which actually explain various intricacies of this behavior. What is it? And it's all very, very technical. It's not whimsical. When we hear some pastime and how Radharani is behaving, or it's all technical. I mean, it's like scientific, meaning there is a tattva behind it, and there is a behavior, structured behavior underlying it, etc., etc. So it can't be very easily understood if you're just swimming on the surface. That is why if you want to really understand Radha Rani and Krishna's love, we have to understand, we have to read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and eventually other books of our Goswamis. Otherwise, we can't understand Radha's love for Krishna. It's just way beyond our understanding. It's very perverse. Mm. Vamya. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all these details, but just it's a it's just giving us a taste of what it is. What is this? What is the beauty of this love between Radha and Krishna? All glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mura. Although it is all pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride, and although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. It is pure, but it is beset with duplicity. Mm. And so this is Danakeli Kaumudi, Rupa Goswami. And I think we can stop here. Mm, mm. Yeah, I think we'll stop here because this discussion will go on. Okay, and for today. Any questions, comments? I know these are all like super exalted topics, but that's why I said it is incidental reading. And anyway, it's not like we are not reading something that we should not be reading, because this is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Everybody is expected to read that, and it's not like we're going searching for some esoteric stuff, right? It's just right there, fourth chapter, basic philosophy required to understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are in his movement, we are part of his movement. So it becomes our duty to actually understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood and why he appears, etc. And we can't understand that without understanding Krishna, without understanding Radha, without understanding the nature of their love. So these things have to be understood. Hmm. Okay, anyway, I'll stop here. If there are any questions, comments, we can discuss. Anyway, there can't be any questions, comments. There's nothing to question here. Yeah, so we'll conclude then. Vanchakalpatarubhishta kripasindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. If anybody is bewildered, then we can just discuss.